A big hello and welcome to all our viewers joining us for this cracking episode of One Play Specials. It's the 7th of July, which means that it's a red letter day for 1.3 billion Indians, as well as lots of other devotees all over the world, because it's MS Dhoni's birthday, which is why one of the topmost trending hashtags on Twitter earlier today was Happy Birthday Tale. And joining us for this very special episode to pay tribute to the great man, to Captain Charismatic, Captain Cool on this episode of One Play Specials is the dynamic duo of Ayaz Memon and Mandira Lalvani, the usual mainstays, along with the CEO of the Baroda Cricket Association, Shishir Hattangadi, who's been on our networks in the past, and making his maiden appearance on our One Play Sports platform, the smiling assassin, the wily fox from Sri Lanka, Muttiah Muraltharan. Murli, welcome to the show, along with a big welcome to all our other panelists.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Murli, I'm going to kick things off with you. You, of course, have come up against MS Dhoni on multiple occasions. You've shared the dressing room with him as well when you were at CSK between 2008 and 2010. So it's a two-part question. The first part, what was it like coming up against MS Dhoni? Can you recount some of the experiences of having played against him?
First of all, I would like to say happy birthday to him. Wish him and all the best. When I first met him, he was very young, and 2007, that era, because first time he came to Sri Lanka 2006, then we played, then we came to India. So his talent wise, batting wise, we didn't never expect a person can hit the ball so hard and so consistent and like that. So we didn't never expect it. So to attack him, it took a little bit of time because know about him, because when he comes to a new player, it's very hard and how they play the game. He's one of the best players of spin, and it was hard for me whenever, because I struggled a bit. Sometimes I got him out as well, but still most of the time. So against him, some games like 2011, I had a chance to get him out early. And 2011 World Cup, he just dominated. So winning run, he hit the six. So that was disappointing for our team. And it was whole of a billion people in India will be cheering on him, because as an opposition, we will think at the time he's a great finisher. So we want to get him out latter part of his career. Early part of the career, he was a dangerous player. He can take the game away within 4 or 5 games from you, but latter part he had to play for the team and not think about himself and scoring tons of runs, and he always thought about how to win a game, not to think about how much he's going to get end of the career. So he's totally a different kind, and he was calm. So calm, and I think I don't know where it came from, that calmness from him. So we always felt when he was a latter part of the career, we have to get him out early, otherwise we are in trouble. So he had a lot of success against us. Same way. Sometimes we also had good times, and this is the way the game goes. And it's a great to play against him also.
Absolutely fantastic. You talked about, coming up against him, and I'll come to you again very soon to talk about, some of the dressing room stories from your times having shared the dressing room with him. But before I do that, Ayaz, you of course co-authored a book, MS Dhoni, Captain Cool. Can you talk to us a bit more about the book, everything that the book embodies, as well as your experiences, having met the great man, your encounters with him?
Well, actually, I commissioned that book, and I, kind of gave the outline as to what the book should have, and I obviously wrote a long intro in that, because he's such a fascinating character. So he was one of a series of 4 books we did at that time. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni, look, I think he blitzed, there's so much that we know about him, and yet we don't know enough. One of the things which Murli mentioned is, we don't know where he gets his calmness from, But when he came, he was a very flamboyant cricketer. He came hitting those big sixes, a string of failures, then that big knock against Sri Lanka, then against Pakistan, and he became an overnight star. And then he had that, that long hairstyle of his, which kind of got him immediate recognition all over the cricket world. The former president of Pakistan, Musharraf, in fact, told him when we were touring Pakistan that whatever you do, don't cut your hair, It was almost like he was Samson
Right.
because he had long hair, he was making those runs. But what is remarkable, and this is something that Murli can tell us perhaps, and even Shishir, is the way he transformed. I think it's a fantastic point Murli's raised, that when he came, he was a very dangerous player. But by the time he was finishing, he was so much in control. The authority that he wielded, it's not just danger. The longer he batted, you knew your goose was cooked if you were in the opposition. That was the threat that Mahendra Singh Dhoni held out. It's not that he came and started hitting a flurry of sixes. He built up an innings, understood the situation well, just read the bowlers, the field placing superbly, took the match to a position where the opposition got frustrated or panicked or got impatient, and then he would unleash and become the match winner that Murli's talked about. So it's a fascinating trajectory that we've seen in the 15 years with Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Absolutely right. His journey, right, from the bam bam kind of a batsman with slamming those sixes and those boundaries, and like Murli said, absolutely, he was on fire. Nothing could stop him. And from that to that journey to that captain cool, that last tag that he kind of had as a captain, where nothing could faze him. He was always so measured, even in his communication, whether it was the press or anybody or anything that was out there in the public domain. He's just very measured and very controlled and very proper. And yeah.
Lovely. And Shishir, what's been on your mind? MS Dhoni's birthday. Have you wished him personally? What's been on your mind?
No, I think there's one thing about Dhoni is that nobody knows where he is. He's quite a reticent kind of human being. He doesn't engage with too many people. I did call his manager, of course, to tell him to wish him. But the thing about Dhoni, what impresses me is he comes from a small, sleepy town, and that is Ranchi. And coming from there, I think he's still very much a country bumpkin, so to speak. He likes the rural part of India. He likes his farmhouse, his bikes, his dogs. And I think he's in a sense, a very closed person because you won't know the real Dhoni. But behind that, there is a serious self-confidence that, makes him believe that whatever he's got today is, one is because he's worked towards it, and two is, of course, the fact that he believes in some divine force guiding him. Because you'll find small town boys a little conscious when they come into the big city. The arc lights haven't ever sort of overawed him or got him under pressure. That generally happens with small town boys. He's also a very observant player, and an observant human being, because he's done it his own way. He's taken calls, some very harsh calls. For instance, for argument's sake, you can always say, Rahul Dravid and Saurav being dropped and Lakshman being dropped was one of the huge decisions in Indian cricket. And you know the sentiment that goes with dropping, big players. It's not something that happens very easily. But sometimes, you have to back your instinct. He's taken those decisions, taken a lot of flack for it, but he's backed his decisions. And one needs to admire somebody who's played the game on his terms. There's also a great sense of loyalty in the man. He's for all those people who are loyal to him, he backs them, and that is a great quality to have in people. It's always debatable, but you know that when you are loyal to Mahendra Singh Dhoni as a friend or as a teammate, he will always back you. He will believe in you. So there are great traits about the individual that come out over a career, and I think it's important for us to admire him and wish him on being such a celebrated cricketer and a captain, a leader for India.
Absolutely. Murli, coming back to you now. We would all love to hear stories from the times that you spent with MS Dhoni in the dressing room. I recently saw a quote from you, and you talked about how, out of all the IPL teams that you played for, the now defunct Kochi Tuskers, CSK, RCB, your best experience was while you were at CSK, and you talked about the fact that the environment in the dressing room was beautiful. So how big a contributor was MS Dhoni to that environment?
Yeah. Before that question, I would like to say something else about Dhoni. See,
absolutely.
Once you gave him an opportunity to lead in 2011 World Cup, that's a responsibility. So once a young guy gets a responsibility, and that made him as cool as possible, because winning that World Cup, something that he could have, if he not win or not success, he would have been a different person. So he knew when a younger age, with a younger team, without Sachin, without Rahul, without Ganguly at the time, with a younger team, and he could manage to win that World Cup. That gave him is a plus point, and he thought, so how to, before that he was how to make the team, and he was a dashing batsman, and now he thought, okay, I have won it, I know the secret how to do it, and I have to be calm, and that's what I think he went calm after that. And how to responsibility, once you get responsibility, definitely you're going to be you have to be calm, because responsibility gives a lot of authorities, and you have to be make sure that your teammates, think about your teammates, think about the environment, think about everything. So then you have to be calm, you can't be a restless person, then you're very difficult to handle. So that's made him as a young age to learn that the World Cup win put him everything. That's why his calmness came. Regarding when I went to 2007-8, that Chennai, so I was very happy to pick by Chennai at the time, because my wife is from that area, and it's easy for me as well. And same way, the Chennai Super Kings knew that the owners and everyone, they were in cricket. So they knew the game, win or lose. So they support that. That is more important. And then they wanted a younger captain, Dhoni. They wanted Dhoni as a captain, and he came. And he was with so much of experienced players, like so many, like Aiden to Assis to Stephen Fleming to everyone. So I think he definitely he learned a lot from that Chennai also. He was welcoming, he was calm, and he was first year he was learning how is IPL and how to. It's totally different. You're captaining India and IPL team. A lot of egos will be there. A lot of
Right.
players from outside. So many things can happen. So he learned that first year.
Yeah.
With that, he reached the finals. So he knew what he wants. Then he learned a lot. After this World Cup win, we came to the final of this Premier League. That also Indian Premier League, that also helped him. So that's why he became very calm. He understood the game, how to play, and also how to handle the bigger fish, like bigger people, like bigger cricketers. Because it's not easy to handle bigger cricketers, because some cricketers might have a lot of egos. So you have to play with the egos.
Right.
So he was calm, and he was very friendly, and also a good quality of him is he understood that time you can't just go in the field, and when you have such a great players are playing, you can't just go and telling people what to do. Sometimes he tells you do your stuff, and if it's something goes wrong, then I will set a field for a bowler. So like that, he had the knowledge. So he had a knowledge also. These all helps him to be a greater personality and a great coolness of his captain. And also, he's very calm person. Like he doesn't like other cricketers. He doesn't party. He doesn't do anything. He just makes sure he goes to his room, and he stays and with his friends have a dinner with them. So he always a quiet person, not a. You see in cricket, you see sometimes there are a lot of people who can do so many things during the when you play after the cricket, going to the dressing room and everything. So he's very calm and quiet. So that made him is to calm, I think.
Fantastic. A follow-up question that I have to ask you, Murli. You said that he's a very quiet and calm person, right? As you saw him evolve, right? Was he always that way? Was he aggressive to start out and then became quieter? They say age mellows you down. So how have you seen his evolution take place to that quiet person that you described him as?
No, because that is two big events he captained, right? It is not that easy for a young guy to
It's
come and
19
Right.
hours.
yeah. So then he knew what to do. Then after that he learned a lot. Then he became very calm. So I would say He's not a person. The earlier speaker was telling that if you are loyal to him, he will look after you. No, he's not like a person like that. So he puts team first. If you can win, he will be backing you. The person you can see that you can do the job right for your country or the IPL team, he will
Right.
pick. Otherwise, no friends and no there. That is the big quality of him. You are trying to help your cricketers, then there will be a lot of problems will come. When you try to put the friends in front of your team, then you can't be a greater captain like him. I think that was not a right way of. I was 3 years. Even sometimes I can remember 2010 and everything. I was taking a lot of wickets, but he is good with me. But still, when things came, he wants to play 4 all-rounders. So for foreigners, you have to play. Then he put in Ashwin and dropped me. So I think it's a good quality because team comes first for him. Winning is come first. So we have to, as a cricketers, we have to understand. That's why he was. Even some people will say he took big decisions about Rahul Dravid and Ganguly. But
Right.
at the time, he thought in his mind, not his decision also, he just gave his advice to his selectors that if you want to play one-day cricket, you have to be fit and catch the ball, whatever it is. Otherwise, India is not going to come to a next level. So it's obviously because we used to beat India when 2005, 2004, 2003 because of the fielding. So he judged that fitness and the fielding. We were Sri Lankans as a team only won. No, there were not such great players. Some names came, but in the end, but we were as a team and as a fighters, we fight. So he want fighters in the team, not the big players who can win 1 or 2 matches. It is not matters. It has to be a team, and you need the fitness right. The fielding is more important in one-day cricket. So maybe you would have said, but I don't think his decision to drop them. People should not misunderstood that. I think it's a selector's decision, not his decision. But he would have put some inputs. Whether I need a team that I can be fit for 11. That's all he would have said. I would have not said I want to drop WD or Dravid or no player. Even if I am captaining at that point, I will never say I want to drop Ganguly or Dravid or such a yes. It's very difficult to say that. But I could say only are they fit to play the one-day cricket? And if your fitness is good, I'm okay. But if your fitness is not that great, then you have to push the youngsters. So that's what I would have said.
Brilliant. I believe Ayaz, you had a question.
Anubhav,
Yeah.
I have a quick question for Murli. That he's given us so much information about the way Dhoni is. Now, two things. One is you played against him, and was he the kind? We all know from the outside that he's captain cool. He's not a demonstrative guy. You don't see much, but sometimes he mutters under. Does he sledge? Does he sledge the opponents? You played along with him in the IPL, and also how is he outside of the playing field? Is he a prankster? Does he crack jokes, or is he always very serious?
See, Dhoni, when say, what you the first question was, I couldn't understand.
No, I said, does he sledge his opponents
Okay, no,
when
no,
they're
not
out
at
in the
all.
middle?
Because Dhoni is, see, we also think like Dhoni also think like me straight away. It's sledging is not going to get any players upset or anything. What we do is we have to show from our skills to the opponent. We are good enough. You can sledge anytime somebody sledge at me, I smile. So let him smile. Then that means I don't mind. You can sledge anytime you want. I don't. Words not coming. You bowl or you bat you do your job. So Dhoni is mainly as a captain in the field. He will thinking about the game plans, what he has to do next bowler, who am I going to play, how I can win this game. Those are so he didn't have the time to sledge. The other question was what you were asking.
No, off the field, is he a prankster? Does he play jokes on fellow players? Is he very serious all the time?
Yeah, no, he's not serious. Serious means not quiet and everything. Sometimes he has own friends, so he plays. He has have dinner with him. I never seen he have a drink or something because I think alcohol. And I never seen. I have been to his room and sometimes I don't think he does drink or anything. But he likes to talk to people and certain things like he's a friendly guy because that means quiet means he's not quiet. But once he in the friends he talks his things. He's okay because other than that he's not moody or anything. Anybody asks an autograph he will give. Anybody asks a photograph he stays and smiley and give the photographs. That's the quality he has. That's why people loves him because because some players doesn't like to take photographs because India is billion people. Sometimes when you go to Chennai everyone to have a one bite of him, so it's very hard for him also, but he tolerates. So that's the quality he has. So as a player, so as a human being, he's a good guy, and also he has a. See, I used to chat a lot about charities and also I also do a lot of charity. Same way, people doesn't know he has done a lot of charity, given electricity to people who are not in his town. I was asking how many people, thousands people he helped because he doesn't say. We don't say what help. So that kind of charity he has does. So he's basically a very good human being.
Murli, just to quickly jump in and take away from Dhoni for 1 second. You said you've never sledged on the field. You don't encourage people to sledge on the field. With you, your eyes are enough. When you're standing on the other side, about to come for to come and bowl, and your eyes and your batsmen are just like, okay then. No, is that
Well, also,
that's your weapon?
just to add, Murli has also helped a lot of people. After the tsunami, we know the contribution he made in Sri Lanka in his own country. So the empathy he has with Dhoni is palpable.
Yeah. So
they
the
are
cricket, some cricketers, even Sachin does a lot of charity.
yeah, of course.
To do doesn't say. We
Even
do much more than people think. So we help close to 350,000 people a year. Like that, we have a good foundation. Same thing Sachin has, same thing Dhoni has. But we don't advertise those because we don't need popularity on that. Because it's a human. So you have to be quiet and do some stuff and just be quiet because we don't want to fame on what we charity because I think as a personal cricketers, because in your country, the people have helped you. If the people are not cheered to you and they didn't give any encouragement, if you're going to without crowds and without people's cheer and people's appreciations, that will be, today you will be seeing Manchester United playing Liverpool or something without empty crowd. It will be like just a boring game. So the people have put us into the frame, money wise, everything. So we have to, one day, we all have to help the people without knowing. So what in life, because you have to give and take. So that's what some cricketers without knowing do. Charity is one of them, is Dhoni as well, as far as I know, because I have chatted a lot about charity with him. He has done a lot to people in Ranchi, that area.
Yeah.
Speaking of empty stadiums, tomorrow is going to be Test cricket. After such a long time, there's going to be live cricket back, in the world. It's England versus West Indies. What's the buzz? Are you excited to watch it? And you've been out there, of course, and so many times and played, and no crowd at all. When these guys play, how do you think that's going to be?
See, what I would say is it will be for a cricketer. It's very hard without spectators because you have to show what you have in your skills because it will be very empty. It's very boring because sake of playing, and I don't think I will enjoy when no spectator there if I have to bowl because it's not right. So I think I give a clue to you. If they want to play Test cricket, right now, tomorrow you come to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is free. You can play enough of cricket spectators also. Our president will allow. So I think seriously, I'm not joking. In our last 60 years, 60 days in the public, not a one COVID patient is in Sri Lanka because the government has done so much with the military and everything, searching and everything, quarantining and put. and he's done a great job, our president. So if you want to play IPL, come to Sri Lanka. All the Indian public can come here and watch the matches without COVID. They can go back.
BCCI has offers from everywhere to come and play the IPL. UAE, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, of course, is perhaps the closest.
I know.
So what we are hearing is it's definitely on in the UAE this year.
No, I don't think UAE with COVID full. You see, you are dangerous there. So what I'm saying is, last 60 days in Sri Lanka public, there is no one.
Fantastic.
So
that's amazing.
So that is a great achievement for a small country. No country could do this in the world because nobody knows. Because my brother is contesting in the ball. I am going for the meetings. We are having meetings. 500 people are coming and for the meetings. So I'm helping him to win the elections. So we are having elections. Normal life is going on. Schools are started. Now sports has started. So everything is in Sri Lanka. So I don't want to take this away from Dhoni's glory from Sri Lanka. So we'll talk about Dhoni now.
Absolutely. Murli, so you mentioned that we'll talk about Dhoni. You've gone on record saying that at your level, when you're playing international cricket, then more than ability, it's the mental fortitude and the mental tenacity that counts. You said it's 90% mental tenacity, right? Can you shed some light on Dhoni's mental tenacity, mental fortitude, and his strength as a strong mental character?
See, because for me, a mental is more enough. God has given talent to everyone. So they train hard. Everyone trains hard. Every cricketer trains hard. Everyone wants to achieve. Everyone in their mind. But how strong you are, that's the most important thing in the mind. So for me, the bad or good happened when I chucking episode went, and that was a question mark in 90 when I was 22 years old, 21 years old. So there's a question mark. How can fight it out? I have to go through so many hurdles. So that made, with the support of players and whole country was behind me, and then I got through it. So that mental strength came stronger and stronger. Nobody could stop me. Same thing, I think, younger days, I not chat much to Dhoni. Definitely, he would have gone with hardships, like a lot of hardships. So that hardships you have turned into positive way. Everyone has to go through in your career hardship. If nobody can be like Sachin, everything blossom into glory. Like 14 years first 100, 16 years. So he's something genius because he's born to play cricket and born to win matches, born to break records. So, but we all came with hard truth. That's why we are mentally strong. Something special Sachin had. But I think Dhoni would have gone through so many hardships because he would have not got a chance in cricket. So many obstacles he have to go through. That made him stronger and stronger, and not give up, fight it hard, and be positive. One day my chance will come, I will show him. So that's why I think Dhoni's mental strength. So these things happens in your life, automatically your mental strength will grow.
Murli, also, just from your own experience, tell me, when you're actively playing and you're there for all formats, whether it's Test or One Day or 2020, and you're so switched on, you're touring all over the world, whether it's training, then there's IPL going on, etc., etc., etc. Then you take okay, you retire from one format of cricket, then one more, then one more. How's it been for you? Do you miss it?
Really, because every cricketer will miss, but your body will say, no, your mind will say you still can get 10 wickets, but your body will give up. So every cricketer so that happens because your mind is very strong, right? I can think like I can take 10 wickets now. So whether the body is fit, because we getting older, your eyesight will go down, and your strength of because you overused your groins, your knees. I also recently had 2 knees operated because without play. Yeah, because it happens, because wear and tear for a cricketer, because it's hard. I'm 48 now, not young as 32. Same thing. So when the time will come, and when you think you have to give your chance to the youngsters. So that is more important. And also you have achieved, and the time will come, nothing more to achieve. Then you decide and take a decision, and thank you very much. You have to go when you're in top. not people are asking you to go. So that's
Yeah.
the decision I took when I was there in I think 2010. I took it. Then because of the World Cup, I wanted to retire all form, but the selector said at least you play the World Cup. So that's why I played the World Cup. Then the interest is there, and you're young, still 37, you could play. So I thought I can play in the IPL a little bit. Not I had great time with IPL also. First 3 years, then for 1 or 2 years. Then after body said it can't because it has to go. I have to go. So that's why. So Dhoni's factor is I think India should allow him to play the shorter format for the at least another 1 year. Now you know that 1 year of this 3-4 months of COVID, the players are coming through. It will be a struggle because they haven't practiced. They have to get their mind right, get their focus right. So it will be a very struggle for every cricketer in the world. So better to have Dhoni like a person to guide them to get it to glory. If you're not, he has retired in the shorter format. At least they should consider in my mind, because of he's still strong, he's fit, and he want to play. He's playing in IPL, so I think they should use him for another 1 year. Then take his maximum for his country, and I think he will also allow. I think I will tell Dhoni also to play 1 more year, and world wants to see him. We all want to see him, and all the best for him.
Brilliant. There are lots of questions, by the way, that are coming in. Lots of birthday wishes dedicated to Dhoni. Murli, here's a question from Pulkit. And Pulkit's asking, you were called the smiling assassin. Was it a strategy that you used to intimidate the batsmen or get into their nerves?
See, when I'm in the bowl, I concentrate on how to get that person out. That's why my eyes, when you see, without knowing the eyes gets bigger and everything. So I am focused what I have to do there, and I don't think about once you get start bowling and to end, and I want to do control that much as possible. Sometimes people batsmen control. So I found very difficult to control Virendra Sehwag. He doesn't care about. So most of the batsmen I try to control. Sometimes you can't. So concentration is more. That's why you show in your face you are there, because your concentration makes your face. So the concentration is your goal. So how are you going to achieve that goal? Until that, you're not going to take your eye off.
Something I remember, and I can't remember which match. I think it must have been one of the IPL matches, if I'm not mistaken, one of the RCB ones when you were playing for RCB. And I think I was there for the match. And I still remember, because 2020 cricket, especially IPL being the way it is, it always more or less goes down to the wire. And I have never seen you look so terrified except when you're holding the bat. Because when what do you go through on the other side of the fence? You're such an amazing bowler, intimidating, the world record holder. You've just made such huge you know strides in the world of bowling. However, when you're holding the bat, you're almost scared. So tell us what used to go through your mind when you know that it hinges on you to finish that match.
See, you can't consider me in a batsman, or I'm a stopper, right? And also, I will make sure that I don't get hurt. Because if I get hurt fingers, I can't bowl, I can't play the match. So always when a batsman there, I try to hold the wicket and give it to him a chance. But if the batsman is not there, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to slog. So batting is something I didn't enjoy in my life, because from the younger days onward, bowling something I enjoyed, because some people said I'm a mad person because bowling is the hardest, because you have to be a lot of fit and keep on bowling. And because only one reason I choose bowling is you have more chances. Like batsman do one mistake, he's gone. I can do more mistakes and come and get the batsman out. So that's why I would have loved the bowling.
Brilliant. We've got.
Anubhav,
Yes,
I've been resisting this, but I must ask this question of Murali.
Yes. Yes.
We've seen him as an opponent in India when he's come and performed marvelously with the Sri Lankan team. Then he's come and played for CSK and RCB and Kochi, wherever in the IPL, and now then he's been associated with Sunrisers Hyderabad as one of the mentors and stuff. Now, what I want every time we see you and Lakshman sitting together, you're all going chatter, chatter, chatter. There's not a moment's pause. Every time the cameras come on you, whatever the state of the match, however tense or whatever it might be, you all guys are constantly talking. What is it that you all are constantly talking about?
What's the gossip?
What's the
See,
gossip?
I'm basically a chatterbox. So I can't so without I can't wait. So Lakshman has a great mind on cricket. So you can learn a lot from Lakshman. Lakshman is very perfect, and he will know what to do and everything. So we had a good group, like Sunrisers, Lakshman, Tom Moody, myself, and we used to talk a lot, and we used to talk. See, as a coach or mentor, we shouldn't be in pressure. If we are intense, the players get more tense. Mentors are tense to make it's cooler and talk something. Sometimes we talk about the game. Sometimes we talk about our past. But see, Lakshman, I couldn't even get him out for such a long time. Only once or twice I got him. So we remember that. And I used to joke to Tom Moody, he's my second test wicket. So like that, we talk about and concentrate a little bit about. Then we are calm and cool in the dressing room. We don't get excited. So the players also doesn't get excited. We give the game of cricket is something every day you learn. See, you're not going to be expert. So, but you have to be calm. You have to be so your mind is calm and everything. Then only your talent can show in the middle. Otherwise, you are tense and go and think before that I have to achieve this. I have to know. Go there and see the ball and the play as you the merit of the ball. So then you don't freeze. Once your mind is freeze, your body freeze. Mind gives you the signal. The brain gives the signal to your limbs. Even how much you practice, the brain's you freeze. Never can't do it. Sometimes it happens to me in cricket. I think sometimes Dhoni comes to bat now. Oh, he's going to hit me a six. It happens. It goes to a six because it's all about in the mind. So that means if I'm going thinking like that, my mind bowls the easiest bowlers to him. The limb says get the signals. So mind is, that's why I said mind is 90%. You have to keep it cool and calm as Dhoni, then you will be successful.
So there's one thing about Dhoni. There's one thing about Dhoni. I mean, Murli will be able to tell us. I mean, met him once, his manager and him. I believe he loves sleeping, and he talked about in his early days when he played domestic cricket and they used to travel by train. He said that once he got on the top of a sleeper, he would get off only after they arrived at the station. So if they went from Ranchi to somewhere down south, he would sleep through the journey. And this is something that he says that even now, when there's a sort of gap of a couple of days, during the IPL, he catches up on a lot of sleep. So he doesn't like being disturbed. He goes to sleep for almost 12 hours. And is that something you noticed, Murli? Is it a quality that he has of being able to switch off and just go off to sleep, in between games?
Yeah, because you need rest for your mind also sometimes. So what happens is when you are in a game, if you say IPL game, it goes till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So sometimes Dhoni gets up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So he doesn't come for breakfast. He won't see in the lunch. He will have it in the room. So same way he does all the time. So that is rest. You take it maximum of that. Then he be fresh to come and play the game or go for practice. So first when he came and he was an experienced player, he didn't want to do some gym sessions. Sometimes only he does his things because he was young and he's fit. Latter part of his thing, I was not playing, but he was going to the gym. He need the fitness back and everything. So he nails it right time, I think, because that is the brain is given. When he needed for him, he does get that rest and whatever the exercise he wants. That's why he's still fit. Still, he's better than a youngster. He'll run 3 runs faster than the youngster. Still he can do it. So I think he knows his body and he knows his game. So that's why he's smart.
Brilliant. For a second, Ayaz, I'm so glad that you actually brought that up when you talked about observing Murli as well as Lakshman, like blabbering away, talking nonstop. Recently, I saw an interview of Russell Arnold, and when you observe Murli during his playing days, a lot of people might think that he's a bit shy, or if not shy, he has this quiet confidence about him. But contrary to what popular belief might be, Russell Arnold recently mentioned that Murli is MM standing for motor mouth. And that's a very astute observation from Venkat, who says you were called the motor mouth by Russell Arnold recently too. Murli, can you talk about the genesis or the origin of that nickname of yours?
See, what happens is in a dressing room, if it's quiet, it's like a funeral. Your players, it's all about what
As it is, you'll have so many coffins there.
possible in the dressing room. So I make jokes, I make things, I make talk unwanted things and not related to cricket. Something like not even talk. See, a lot of rubbish I will talk to them. Keep on talking, keep on bothering them. So their concentration before you go to bat, that batsman I don't disturb. But other guys, I'll keep it calm. If wickets are falling, doesn't matter. Because some guys, you have to calm as possible and go, not get the heat of the pressure. This game is all about pressure. So you have to calm. So I used to do that for the benefit of the team. And also I can't wait without talking also.
Brilliant. Many more questions. We have Pulkit again, and Pulkit saying, is it true that you also practiced leg spin growing up? If so, why?
See, when I was playing in my school team, so Sri Lanka has school structure is bigger than the other structures like under 13, under 15, under 17, under 19. We play 300, 400 schools plays in the country. So we have to get 14 matches. So when I was 14 years old, then after playing under 15, I have to play the under 19. Then only you have to go. So what happens is when I want to play, first year I couldn't get a chance at all because I was getting a lot of wickets in junior cricket. But except because Ruwan Kalpage, he played test cricket, PL Vijaytung, a left-arm spinner. Both were a little older than me, but they're playing under 19. So I couldn't get as a off spinner. Ruwan is a off spinner. He's a captain as well. So I couldn't get a chance. So what I thought is, how can I get the chance for next year? Only way of doing something different. So I started bowling leg spin. So I got the chance. I played as a leg spinner that season. So you have to get into the side, no, because to perform or anything, then as a leg spinner. So that's why I did that. So I can bowl without leg spin as well.
Brilliant. Then Vipul Sachdeva, who's asking you, you made your debut in 1992 and the 90s was dominated by fast bowlers like Walsh, Akram, Wakar, Curtly Ambrose. Did you ever question your choice of becoming a spinner?
See, I'm not big made person. I'm not strong. I was when I was under 11 and all, when I was bowling fast bowling, my coach said, you're not going to grow big. You better be a spinner, otherwise your career is, seriously, he searched me, Sunil Fernando. So then I started bowling off spin. It went well. See, when Wasim Akram, Ambrose, Walsh, I played against them. They are very dangerous bowlers in 90s because they're quick. Not only that, they swing the ball. You don't know, you expect to come straight, but it will come into your legs. I can remember when we were playing against Pakistan, rather than getting hit in the head, we were trying to make sure they have a better shoes because they crush the toe. So once you crush the toe, and what happens is when you go, next day you can't put your shoe because it will be swollen like a elephant foot. So seriously, you weren't able to work. So the reverse swing masters of that. And when it comes to West Indies, the bounce. So as a tail ender, it's no chance because we say Jack 9-10. It's coming 1 over gone. Right? That's the way it was in the 90s. And so dangerous. So I think we have to give credit to that time of batsman, because it was not easy as this. These days very easy, because you move the heavy roller and the wickets are very flat. You can't bowl fast as you think. Those days you had grass, and also they can bowl maybe 2 or 3 bounces at the time. The rules also came after that. So it was dangerous period of time for batsmen that era.
Brilliant. We've got a question from Manan on Twitter. It's a two-part question. The first part being, how have you been spending time since retirement? Number two, he's asking, what do you not miss about playing cricket?
See, I was relaxing with my family. I played almost 20 years of international cricket, 3, 4, 5 years of 2020 cricket in all the world. So I miss my family. So most of the time I try to be with my family, and we got own businesses, look after that, and I have a foundation of goodness. We have a lot of cricketers involved. We were doing for last 20 years, so that also I just try to help. So these are the times I spend in Sri Lanka. And missing about cricket, I don't miss, because I miss the dressing room. Every cricketer will miss the dressing room. That is the best part of your life. Anything else?
Yeah.
Then I don't miss is bowling 40 overs because I was tired to bowl 40 overs in the test cricket. It's unbelievable. Because when you think your career, sometimes you bowl one man the whole day.
Fantastic. Here's
Yeah.
Kushal Palicha as well, asking a very pertinent question. And he says, what would your advice be to a young spin bowler growing up in the times of T20 cricket? Should the skills training be different from what the skills training was during your time growing up?
See, when I was growing up, it's all about test cricket and 4-day cricket and everything. So how to take wickets, how to be controlled, how to spin the ball big. So you have to make the batsman something think. Then you learn strategies how to do. So that is the way we learn, and then with the adjustments. If you can play test cricket, how to take wickets, bowling to 1-day or T20 is the easiest. Because not because 1-day you have to make sure, not when the team needed to take wickets, you can put the fielders and try to attack like a test can. Otherwise, you just want to stop getting runs. You be negative as possible. Batsman will give you the wickets. You have to come and wait for your chance. In 2020 cricket, you know you're going to go for sixers. You can't control it. You should not get disappointed people hitting you sixers. Same way, you will get a chance to take them out. But if you can, as a strategy, can bowl less than 30 runs, you have been succeed in a T20 game. Training wise, it doesn't different to T20 or anything. You have to make sure your skills, especially as a spinner, you have to call your name as a spinner. You have to spin the ball. How to learn to spin the ball. Once you learn to spin the ball, you can do spot bowling and get your line right. Then you can vary. You can bowl faster, slower, like that. So if you train, say every day you have to bowl at least 45 minutes to 1 hour without the batsman, because when you bowl into a batsman in a field, in a practice, batsman, he doesn't have a fear getting out. He will play any shots in the world, unbelievable shots he can play, and he can disturb you. So your confidence will go low. So that's why you do a spot bowling, what you want to do properly in your skills. Then after that, you can bowl half an hour to the batsman and try to make sure that like a game time practice, you can practice like that. So you will develop your skill.
Speaking of practice, Muri, like you said, when you're actively playing, there's so much of practice, there's so much of training, whether it's the gym, whether it's obviously match practice, tours, etc. Now, coming to the current time, we're in the middle of this pandemic, right? Globally, everything has come on to a standstill. Yes, Sri Lanka is definitely better off because you guys have managed things really well. There's been COVID-free for the past 60 days. But my point is, for a cricketer or any sportsman, but for this our conversation, a cricketer, it's this continuous fitness training, match practice, match fitness is very, very important to maintain that caliber of being a player, right? Of the talent, of the hard work. Now with the world over, nobody's playing, and there's only that much you can do during lockdown in your house in terms of whether it's working out, etc. What kind of an impact do you see this having on the sport, on the quality of fitness, on the quality of playing? What can we expect?
See, what we can do is when we were young and we were into a Sri Lankan cricket team, then when we are playing, we didn't have 2020 cricket.
Hmm.
Hardly we play a test match, we play every 3 months, one or two test matches. Maybe every 3 months you play three. So you have a lot of time to practice your body, you have to make it and everything. Nowadays is a lot of pressure because some cricketers play all three format. They don't have time to do their training and everything, but they have to balance it properly. So it is hard for the longer days. See, if you're asking Sachin Tendulkar is going to be in this era, he won't be able to play 25 years of three format of the game. So because he was our era, he could manage to play 25. In the latter part, he played a little bit of T20, but one day and 10. So this era will play maximum 15, 16 years, not going to be more than 25, 30 years. You can't play. Those era is finished. It's a demanding. Body is demanding so much because you can do. Because a test cricket, yeah, it's tough. It's mentally tough. But physically tough is a 2020 cricket. You are running every time and you can injure yourself very quickly. So mentally tired is test cricket, physically tired is 2020 cricket. You have to balance between. Then those days we have to come and play in the club cricket. We play because we don't have enough matches. So we play club cricket also and try to get the skill. It's a pandemic time. There are ways to keep your form. See, what you can do is hanging ball. You There are systems now keeping your garden. You as a batsman, you can do hanging ball. So some will say great cricketers, they have a big garden. They can do a spot bowling if you're a bowler. So keep touching. And gym, everyone will have a own gym in their self, way of practicing. These days you go to YouTube, without a gym, how much you can do
Yeah.
exercise, they will tell how to be fit. So only thing is you will do the skill practice, but for them to, if they do training themselves, within 2 weeks they will come to their normal. If they don't do and sit and wait, they're going to spoil their game. They will take 3-4 months to come back. So I think the hanging ball for the batsman is more important. Even my younger son is also, every day he does hanging ball. He's only 14. He wants to be a cricketer and he wants to be a batsman.
Tell us that story. Tell us. I
Yeah.
remember this.
Yeah, so I think this advice will them, because now the test players of IPL cricketers are very rich. They have rich houses, so definitely they can have their own backyard and make a cricket something skills you can play.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Mandira and Anubhav, before you kind of get ahead and reach the conclusion, I want to take Murli back a little in time. In fact, to perhaps the inflection point, a major milestone in his life, which perhaps, and purely because I've been long enough, as you can see from my white hair, Murli, I've been long enough in the game to understand. So, your tour of Australia in the mid 90s and the kind of problems you ran into with the umpiring there, was that a big turning point in your life, in the mental aspect of the game? Did it spark off some greater desire to kind of prove everybody wrong, prove yourself right? And also, if you can shed some light, because the big support you got from Arjuna Ranatunga at that point in time was, in my opinion, unprecedented in different countries, for captains to kind of go and show that support.
Yeah, definitely, because I came in hardships when you come to Sri Lanka. When you're struggling and couldn't get place in the Sri Lanka, one match you play here and there. Those days you play 1 or 2 matches, maybe maximum 3 or 4 matches in a year. So when 1995, so everyone realized I got some talent and I was taking wickets. So when we went to the Boxing Day, that match, we never expect this going to happen. So it's something that I couldn't even know what to do. Then I have to rely on my captain.
Yeah.
So the captain is something important for a bowler, because not for a batsman, because batsman can manage most of the things. As a bowler, you need the captain support. So my captain Arjuna was is so supportive. He saw something in me. He thought I'm going to be a world beater someday. But same way, he's the captain, the quality that has. When I told Dhoni also, friends or not like that. So if you see the ability of the player, if he's not doing any unfair things, then Arjuna thought I was not doing any unfair. I was bowling every part of the world and something not. Because my action is unusual, because I have a 35 degrees elbow bend. I bowl with the wrist. So it is unusual. If I first time, I honestly speaking, I don't find any fault on Daralaya or anybody, because when I first time ever I saw my action is when I was 18 years old, played R. Premadasa Trophy. I was playing for Tamil Union. I was wondering, Kalpage is playing other side. When he bowls, he's a real perfect offspring. We never had TV or anything when you're school cricketer, nobody saw. I didn't even know how I bowled also, but I know my mind how to bowl. But when I went and saw, it was so unusual. It's not same as others. But also for the maybe for these guys also, they are players who thinks in. It's then only we thought the people who came, the scientists came and says it's an illusion because of the bent arm when you're doing it looks like throwing, but it not. So then we have to go scientifically prove. But Arjuna something supported, not Arjuna supported so much, and the vice captain Aravinda also same way, and the whole teammates rather, and whole country, because I'm a Tamil, right? So at the time the war was on, like
Yeah.
Sri Lanka is about 70-80% of Sinhalese Buddhist people, but they didn't think about, whole country didn't think about race or religion or anything. This is the boy is from Sri Lanka. He's a Sri Lankan. We have to back him. Say whole world is something he got it. So they want to take away from him. So that gave me a big choice, because the belief from outside came so much. They believe on me. If I don't want to be a loser, because they believe me. I have to fight this battle. So that's why I came to this position, because that made me a very very strong human being as in life and everything. Same way, that's why I in 1998 I was with my manager Kushil Gunasekara. He was a Sinhalese Buddhist. I am a Tamil Hindu. We thought these people have helped us in good time, good faith of me. What can I do for them? Then only I started this foundation of goodness without my name or anything. We two with another businessman Hashan Mallasekar, we three of us got together and put this and showed to the world that Sinhalese to Sinhalese and Tamils as two races, we can help the poor with this the foundation without any races or religion or anything. That's why we started 22 years. We successfully still we are doing. We are helping close to 350,000 people in our country, poorest of poor, to educate them to be someone as us. So that's the main thing we were doing. So it all happened, and it all the fight and everything. So it gave me everything. That's why I was successful, because I wanted to help the people as well, and with other friends of mine.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Murli, what you said about what the role of the captain vis-a-vis players, and especially the bowler, and how you evolve from there. Because it's not easy when you're, it can be traumatic, and then to come out of that and become the world's greatest wicket taker is
And not
one of
just
the
once, right?
extraordinary achievements.
These tests or these aspersions were cast several times. I remember how many times you went to Australia with those, with that test and all of that. And each time to be able to have that resilience and that strength of mind to say, you know what, I have nothing, I'm doing nothing wrong, and to test me as many times as you like, you'll find the same thing. I think that's been remarkable.
Mandira, because that's true. Because what I did is in my life, I knew. See, if you are chucking the ball, your elbow knows. I know. I didn't feel anything about when I'm bowling. When you're throwing the ball, there will be a elbow into your mind because all the body part in the mind will know, because it will know, because you can't say I didn't feel it. So
Yeah.
I thought it's we have to prove, and even ICC, I told them with our manager and with our lawyers, and we told them, see, you have to test every bowler and see what is the right. When you come to parameters, you have to see what is right, because humanly impossible there will be a sling light off, because we are not our iron, even a iron rod in a certain speed, if you rotate it, that also bends.
Right.
So that is the theory of so when you have 18 cameras in 1000 frames per minute, and you see 15 degrees is nothing. It is, you can't take any advantage. People doesn't understand. So we can't. So that's why they try to test everyone in the world and see where is the right thing. So even if you think, I don't want to name, I know the names, were the greatest bowlers in the world. You think that man would have not even clinked his elbow. He went 12, 13 degrees. That's why, not because of me, he tested everyone and saw and think, I don't want to name, because I don't want to name and spoil their life. So that happens. That's why ICC took at 15 degrees and the fair one, and that after that you might take advantage. That's why they did that. So it is so much of fight. Then I went to Channel 4. I put casting rods, and I injured my shoulder. I couldn't play because of it was 5 kilos heavy in the elbow, not to straighten. So many tests, so many things, and I would even today, if you want to test, I'll bowl. You show me something wrong with me. So that kind of a belief I had, and I don't want to cheat. I want to be honest and show the people that even when I'm wearing, it is the coldest place, I might wear a full sleeve. Otherwise, always I bowl with a short sleeve. Let them see. So this kind of attitude gave me everything, I think.
You're
Brilliant.
honest. So true.
And Murli, a few minutes back, you actually gave some advice to youngsters. We had this 6-year-old. His name is Madad Abbas, a prodigious young talent on our One Play Sports Networks a few weeks back. And he's considered to be the next big thing. People already comparing him to the likes of Shane Warne, Rashid Khan. He's a leg spinner, but he can actually rip it both ways. We have a couple of clips of his
6-year-old.
bowling. 6-year-old would love hailing from Hyderabad.
He's from Hyderabad. I think Anubhav's got stuck. He is this prodigy. Murli, you would love to see him. I think they're going to try and
I would have
pick.
seen in YouTube, but you can show me again.
Yeah, we'll just show you. I think they're just trying. Yeah, there. What do you think?
I saw that video.
Huh.
See, the thing is, you can't predict anyone. I'm just saying, cricketers, as this is my own thing, right? You can't predict cricketers when at the age of 6, age of 7, age of 10. You can be brilliant in that age, but when you come to, you have to see 17 and 18, how they good are. Because the height is more important for spin bowling. So you grow, your skill is different, right? Because your strategy is different. So many things is different. See, everyone loves it. He can do it. He knows how to bowl the googly. He knows both the way. He spins the ball. When you see, as a young boy, he has a strategy. He puts in the air a lot. So once you put the air a lot, when you go air, you get more spin. Once you come taller and taller, you can't put that air batsman hit you for sixes. So you have to see the age comes, whether you can control same thing strategy. Because it's not all about when you are in 6, you're not going to be the great cricketer you can't see. See, you have to have 17, 18, you show the talent, then after that, how much mentally you going to take this? So that's why I believe Sachin Tendulkar is such a greatest player, because billion people backing him and taking every day you have to score 100. That's a lot of pressure. I was with Sri Lanka. Every game they want to take a 5 wickets. It is not. It is impossible humanly, because you have your failures, right? So that's the expectation. What the expectation he has given. So this kid today, everyone is expecting 6 years he will be a miracle, but sometimes if he doesn't have the strong mind, he can collapse. So make sure, don't overdo it and show it to the public. Just keep it to yourself, secrets. That's why we did with Ajanta Mendes, right? We knew he's great. Nobody knows him, right? We put it the right time Asia Cup. We put it the right time against India. Nobody knows him. So nobody's prepared. So don't know. He was just bamboozling the batsman and getting wickets. Then after that 2, 3, 4 years, people know him how to do it. So in cricket, it's not all about skills. It's all about how much selector and the captain decides how to introduce your player and how you can adapt to situation. For me, I saw Suckland first, bowling the Dusra. I couldn't even imagine. This is 1994. He was just, still I took 17 wickets and we won the match. We won the series in thing. I was the man of the series and everything. But Suckland, something bamboozling our batsman, didn't know what to do with that Dusra. So I went and asked him how to do it. So he showed me. And we're all good friends, good faith. I have to give him the credit, but he's one of the greatest bowlers. But because of injuries, he couldn't continue. But so when I thought, how can I learn this? I took me 90. When I started bowling my Dusra, it was 2006 years. So you have the adaptation, right? You have to adapt. So the mind is more important. You have to learn with someone and everything. So these are the things I think that kid should not shown to public and everything. Let his work his way till he's 14, 15, 16. Then you see, suddenly you put, he can bamboozle everyone and India can win matches. So don't exaggerate and do things, but it will affect him more than what the expectation gives these young boys a lot of pressure. And if you couldn't deliver 1 or 2 matches, they will break down. And you can't bring them back again. It's very hard.
Especially in this era of instant gratification, right? Where they, like you said, the expectation is
I can't hear you.
I'm saying especially in this era.
Mandira, I can't hear.
Why can't you hear me?
No,
Can you hear me, Anubhav and Ayaz?
I can hear you, Mandira.
Well, you can't hear me still.
I can hear now.
No, I'm saying especially in this era of instant
I
gratification.
can't hear.
Oof.
What is she saying?
I
Mandira
can
saying?
hear you. I can't hear Mandira.
Okay, tell him. Especially in this era of instant gratification.
So you
right?
can repeat the question.
Yes. So Mandira is making a comment, a follow-up comment to what you just mentioned. She mentioned that especially in this era of instant gratification, it's even more important to perhaps shield them, protect them, and not let social media get the better of them.
Yeah, definitely, because you have to protect. If you have gold, you're not going to say you have gold in your house. You're not going to say I have gold. Then the thief come and take everything. So, like that, you have to protect those people and safety is. Then only the value of the gold will come, because otherwise it is not. So you have to be very careful, because that's what Sri Lanka was so good. Malinga, we introduced some like that. We have introduced unbelievable bowlers, introducing them. So you can't show. You suddenly come and show. That was, otherwise you are given the advantage. Before you play, you told about him. People are prepared. At least you don't getting the first 1 year of advantage.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely. Murli, I have to ask you this question. You have more than 1,300 scalps under your belt, right? Who were the 3 or 4 batsmen whose scalp you enjoyed taking the most?
We are good friends. Yusuf, he's Mohammad Yusuf now, right? So he's great player of spin. Everyone talks about it. Everyone knows where he plays. So I call him is my bunny, right? He says funny things to me. So that I always loved him taking out. Then, so other than that, every wicket is a very very special for me because it makes your team win and everything. Sometimes very hard to take. It's a successful. So we all believe like batsmen, like just saying, great, like they're all great batsmen like Virendra Sehwag. We are very happy whoever takes on me or not. Oh, that man is gone. Now we have some peace in my our mind. So like that Gilchrist, Sanat Jayasuriya when I'm playing against, like so those players are so dangerous. They can take the game away. So we are very happy those people's wickets.
Fantastic. Brilliant. So those were words of wisdom, throughout the conversation. Mandira, you have something to say?
Can you hear me now?
She has to.
Go via Anubhav. Okay. Can you ask him two questions? Firstly, how involved is he in Sri Lankan cricket? Because at the end of the day, with the wealth of experience he's had, is he involved at all in mentoring and coaching the youngsters of Sri Lankan cricket? And secondly, one path that many ex-cricketers take, especially those of Murali's caliber, not that there have been too many, but they will have like an academy of some sort where they can, where they can nurture fresh talent themselves. Has he ever considered that?
Brilliant. Murli, so Mandira has two questions. I'll ask you the first one. So, with the wealth of experience that you have, having played the game for so many years, I'm pretty sure all your experience will be valuable to youngsters coming up in Sri Lankan cricket. So, how involved are you in Sri Lankan cricket in the development of players coming up in Sri Lanka?
See, Sri Lanka cricket is something different because I think just sake of involving, I don't want to involve in anything. So something they have to ask me to do something because this is my country. I don't want to do with money or anything. If I want, I have to give free. But the problem is in this part of the world is there are spin coaches, there are mentors who are working professionally. So they think it's a threat for them, their jobs. So unfortunately, that is the way it is. And also, it's not nice to cross over and give advice or do anything because unless they invite us to give a special thing or whatever, so I'm totally not involved. So that way, Ganguly gave me opportunity to me to be involved. It's not about money in Bengal. I had a good relationship with after cricket Ganguly and Bengal. I had a lot of spinners, training them, what I could do, give some advice, and what we can make some good spinners. So that we achieved something in Bengal. Then Sunrisers gave me the opportunity to be a mentor and make sure guide the team and everything. So these guys have given me enough opportunities. You have to give opportunities to see a few times when Australia gave me opportunity because really I want to take that because they only accused me and they asked me to train their big guns. So I trained it, but that went not rightly in Sri Lanka. The board was so stubborn and they thought they didn't ask me to come and do anything. I did for Australia when were they touring and Nathan Lyon and them. So in Dubai as well. So these are a lot of politics after playing. So I don't want to get involved because in politics it's not about cricket. So I really anyone comes free of charge. I help people because we have to do that is our duty. Whether it doesn't matter our country or any other country, a youngster asking advice, and we have to give honest advice. I don't have to have any secrets to not to give them, and you should not jealous about the younger cricketers who now see the records. Everyone will break when Jim Laker, not Jim Laker, this what's his name first? Lance Gibbs took 300 wickets, then Botham, then Adley 400, then Lance Gibbs told if someone wants to take more than 300 wickets, that man will be having a very tired man.
Yeah.
So then Walsh came 500 and Shane came 700. I came 800. Records are going to be broken by any genius. There will be genius. I don't think that I will keep my record forever. No, it should be broken by someone else because someone has to blossom from somewhere. So we have to be very, very I'm happy the memories I got, not the record I have. Memories I played with my people. I met a lot of friends all over the world. A lot of cricketers. Still, I got in. I had a great time in Lancashire for 7 years, and still they are friends. We help each other. So this is the life that no one will get, because it's all about mixing. Because a human life is I will tell, just a blink of an eye. Because you think now also you are in 21, 22, your memories are there, but you're 48 now without. Maybe now another about few years it will be like 70, you're dead and gone. When you're born, you're not bringing anything. When you're dead, you're not taking anything. In that span of that life, what you have to do is help each other, help the rest, and you have to make sure as a human being, you, if you've done something, you should be not ashamed to say sorry to someone, and you have to forgive and forget. These principles, even Darrell, I forgive and forget him, and I don't have anything. After that, also he umpired. I talked to him because I'm not a person who that have grudges. Because at the time his decision was that. Maybe it's not the right decision, but his decision is thought. Five fingers are not same in one way. There are people in the world will support you, same way they hate you. Doesn't matter, because likes and dislikes are there. So you have to understand the life in the short term. It's all about your memory. So how many people you helped in your life, how enjoyed with your friends. These are the things if you can do in life, and you will be very successful, and you'll remembered as a good human being rather than a greatest bowler or something.
Murli, have you considered writing a book on practical philosophy?
See, I was lived in a hostel for age of 6 to age of 18 entire my life. So we knew how to share things, even if a bread of loaf, because that time in 6 ages, everyone get hungry. If you get bread off, there are 40 people share that bread. So same way that does teach me, and I was um, in a Catholic school. The fathers were maintaining. We have disciplines. We have to take in right, and we have to make sure right time, punctualities. So that's why I was disciplined, and I know we used to fight each other. Next day we are friends. We used to eat each other and friends. We forgive and forget. So I had a great that 12 my entire schooling year, grade 1, year 1 to 12, when I was joining the cricket team and I was in school. Until that, I had a great time with. Still those friends are friends, schoolmates are friends. So that teach me everything about life. So we lived in a not a rosy life in Sri Lanka. We had wars. We had not even your thing, Sinhalese Tamil war. We have gone through, and riots. My family was affected so much, burned. So many things happened. Then you had nobody knows in this world about. We have these communist riots like in 1987. There are 30, 40,000 Sinhalese boys were dead. They were killed. So no world didn't know that. So the race is so much. It doesn't matter. They are not racial, and this race is about, if the government is against someone, they will go after whether you are Sinhalese or Muslims or Tamils. They will make sure the discipline is maintained. So in that era, we can't go to school. It's all like in pandemic, in like what is happening in India. We are in the house. Nobody can walk. No cricket in 1987, 4 years. So we went through so much of hardship as a country, as a people. And I also went through. So I got nearly shot, and we all been dead in Pakistan.
I remember that.
So many tsunami. So it's about. I'm very lucky to live now, because so many things has happened in our life, and so we have to be humble as possible.
I have a suggestion, Anubhav and Mandira, with your
Yes.
permission. So
Yes,
either
please.
if you want to write a book,
I can't hear you.
you you can't hear me. Tell him, Anubhav, if you want to write a book, I'm always willing. The other is, what a great story. This should be a movie. What a great story.
Made by One Play Sports.
Yeah, of course by One Play Sports.
Murli, can you hear any of us? He can't hear. Anubhav, can he hear you?
Yeah.
Murli, you can hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear both of
That's
them.
that's puzzling. But I can convey I
Yeah.
can convey to you what Ayaz mentioned. So you mentioned two things. The first thing is if you're up for writing a book, then Ayaz is on board as well. In case you want to be co-authors, in case there's a collaboration that might be possible. Yeah. Secondly, you've recounted some brilliant, captivating, enthralling, fascinating stories to us. I'm pretty sure like all of these would make for a brilliant movie, a movie that will be produced, directed by One Play Sports.
No, already I'm making a movie in Tamil,
Yes,
and it
I
will
remember.
be in all
Ah,
languages. Vijay Sethupathi is going to act in that, and it will be a fascinating movie. You people will know what life I have gone through from
I
when I
know.
was
It's
born
amazing.
to when I succeed to 800 wickets. That movie is unfortunately we should have been shooting now in April in Sri Lanka 70% of the movie, and already done everything, script everything has done. So unfortunately, COVID has then movie I think will start only next year. So we might even start April and 2022 maybe a big movie will come. It's not making making a movie to make money. It's making the story that should hear by not because of me what a human being went through all the stuff, and after that how could I achieve that 800, so that the movie is about all about that.
Amazing.
So people of India will see it will come in all languages in India and also in Sinhalese in Tamil. So people will enjoy, I think, that movie as well.
Brilliant. So we can do the sequel on One Play Sports.
Look forward
Only
to
thing is, only thing is, all people should watch this when it comes, and it's not about marketing or itself. It's a life that a sportsman went through, something different than different.
Brilliant.
Anubhav,
Yes.
please tell him, since he can't hear me, I was there for the 700 wicket celebration and I'm coming for the premiere of the movie.
Murli, so Mandira was present when you took 700 wickets. So she was
No,
present at the
your
700 wicket
celebration.
at the 700th wicket celebration, and she's going to be coming again for the premiere of the movie.
She should come, otherwise I'll kill her.
Fantastic. So I'll close with the second question that Mandira had, which might actually shed some light on some of the future plans that you have, or something that might be in the works right now. Something that lots of former cricketers, former cricketing greats do is they set up their own private academies, their private coaching centers. Is that something that's in the works? Something you have plans to do in the future, near future, perhaps?
No, because in our foundation there is cricket for free. We have under 15s, under 13, under 17s, and we'll take all the cricketers who are talented. See, the foundation had a ground given by Surrey Sports
look
Club,
at
is given to us. After the tsunami, it's a tsunami area. Then we have Central of Excellence from MCC. So it's all about our foundation is got millions of dollars from each other sports nations and the players. See, a lot of England players helped us. A lot of councils from Australia, everywhere. The funds came and we built swimming pool. You can imagine, Brian Adam has given a swimming pool to us.
Wow.
Right? So we went worldwide and collected funds and made a huge sports complex for the poorest of poor to blossom in there, because when they are poor, they don't have the facilities. We facilitated them. So sports also one of our foundation. So I didn't want to I go there and help people. So that's kind of things we do in Sri Lanka.
Fantastic, lovely. So over the course of the last 1.5 hours, we've had some golden nuggets, some gems, some words of wisdom from Muttiah Muraltharan, as well as the other panelists who joined us. This has certainly been a very auspicious day, not only because it's MS Dhoni's 39th birthday, but also because Muttiah Muraltharan made his debut on our One Play Sports Networks. And Murli, hope to see you again on our One Play Sports Networks in the very near future.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mandira. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Murli.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
Bye. Thank
Brilliant.
you.
Fantastic. And a big thank you to all of you as well for having joined us. Stay tuned on our One Play Sports pages for live action coming to you every single day of the week. Until next time.
Yeah,
have a good night and cheers.
sorry, guys. I went off. The electricity went off, so I was busy on a helicopter. trying to practice the helicopter shot on a special day. A special day that will make us remember what helicopters are all about. Of course, his my Dhoni's 39th birthday, of course, and look forward to seeing all of you. Let's celebrate with some limbu pani in a dry state.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Look forward to that. Cheers to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.